Muted, and we're live. What's going on, everybody? I muted myself and I forgot to unmute. What's going on, everybody? It's good to be back. I was at Toylanta last weekend. It's been crazy busy between the Kickstarter, Toylanta, work, life, family, Easter Sunday. It never ends. The chaos never ends, but it's fun, and so that's what it's all about. It's been a wild weekend. It's been a wild week. We're all in the we're all in on the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Kickstarter press tour. If you haven't seen us on every channel that you've ever watched, then stay tuned, because we're probably going to be on that channel next. But it's been a blast. Now, after this, I'm going to do a short video today. But after this, make sure you check out Brick Something's channel to get the latest and greatest on AWOC news, because he's going to have Jason on there from Spiro Toys as well. So, yeah, lots of AWOC content, lots of cool toy content that's not AWOC as well. I'm not going to go too hard on AWOC today because, you know, not too hard. I mean, we're going to talk about AWOC, but anyway, I was just gonna go over what I picked up at Toylanta, check in on the Kickstarter, check in on another Kickstarter, look at a couple other sort of toy news things, and then send you guys on your way over to Brick's channel, and then on to ham or turkey or whatever you guys do for Easter. Brian Brink says, just put the ham in the oven. Absolutely. I think we're having ham and turkey because we've got some extra family in town. So, anyways, shall we begin? As I said, this past weekend I was at Toylanta. I had the privilege to help Jason and the Spiro Studios guys at the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom booth. It was Jason, Derek, Nick Dubes, and myself working the table this past weekend. It was it was a blast. It was a lot of fun to hang out with those guys. It's always fun to go to toy shows and meet like-minded people, toy fans, hang out with nerds, meet new people as well. And that was a big one for, at least for me, but I think for Animal Warriors of the Kingdom as well. There was a lot of fans. There was a lot of toy collectors at the table that hadn't had Animal Warriors of the Kingdom in hand before. So that was an absolute pleasure to get to sort of hand them an Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figure and have them play with it in hand and see their sort of first initial reaction. It was it was really fun. And we had a funny thing happen because we sold out of more Wave 1 stuff early, and then Wave 2 stuff, and then we had Wave 3 stuff left over. At Legion's Con, when Wave 3 was sort of the latest and greatest, it sold out almost immediately. That was not the case at Toylanta. So it was cool because it was people picking up their first figures. So we sold out of Pale almost right away. We sold out of Lexion very quickly. We sold out of Vero Atlas. We sold out of Kali. We sold out of all the main ones that some of us have had for quite a while, and so that was really cool, and it was a real pleasure. I don't get to a lot of toy conventions, and so I had a really good time just checking out the vendor tables, checking out who was selling what the prices are for things. There was a lot of vendors there that had like mint in box 80s toys, and I was surprised how many people were buying mint in box 80s toys for the prices that they were being asked. But it was a blast. I did pick up some stuff. So I will say hello to the chat, and then I'll go through my pretty modest haul. I did have to bring it home in a suitcase. So Sam Rock is here. Jeff Morris is hanging out. Brick Something is here. Rafe Mace. Hello, folks. Hope everyone is having a relaxing weekend. Man, I'm having a relaxing weekend. I'm cold though, because the first thing I did this morning is I did one of these like cold water plunges. A friend of mine built this really cool. It's basically a floating sauna that's at this. It's sort of moored by the edge of the lake here. Um, so my wife and I went down. You get cold lake water, sauna, cold lake water, sauna, cold lake water, and then you go home cold. And I'm still cold a couple hours later. Apparently, it's good for you. I don't know if that's true or not. Brick Something said, sounding healthier. Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit better, just cold. Maybe that sort of cleared me up a little bit. Um, Jeff Moore says, turkey for me. Ray Paz is here. Who else we got? Red 5 is hanging out. Jay Wright says, hey, you should tell them to make a comic. I keep trying, but I don't know. Whatever. Larry Reed is here. Allison Troy. Good morning, Allison Troy. Good afternoon, I suppose. I suppose it is the afternoon. So Brick says, love to hear that Wave 1 is getting out there to new people. That's genuinely exciting. Did you get a chance to explore Atlanta even for a little bit? We no. So technically Toylanta is in I want to say it's called Peachtree Corners. It is, as far as I can tell, kind of a northern suburb of Atlanta. I got to go to the Target, which was next door, and various restaurants within about a 1 mile radius of the hotel, and then and that was it. So I didn't get to see any of Atlanta. I got in Friday morning. We set up the show. I could go over this when I get through the comments. I'll go over sort of how my weekend went, but yeah, I didn't see. We drove through Atlanta. The airport's sort of south of Atlanta, and the event was north of Atlanta. So we drove through Atlanta to get there, and we drove through Atlanta to get back. But no, I didn't get to explore. I wish I had. I wish I'd had time to see some of the things that Atlanta has to offer, but that was not the case. Boy, oh boy, though, that Atlanta airport is bananas. But anyways, let's see. Anybody else? Endless Fables. What's going on, Brian? How are you? Jay says, yeah, kind of cool that you roomed with my buddy Small World, but you wouldn't want to paint it. Yes, Jay and Nick are buddies. It was one of those funny things where, when people sort of meet a Canadian, they're like, hey, do you know this guy from Canada? And Nick was like, hey, do you know Jay from Vancouver? And I was like, yeah, I do actually. So it was kind of a funny conversation, but yeah, it was really, really cool. And yes, I got to hang out with Nick Dubes, who was an awesome guy. If you're not familiar with Nick Dubes, great customizer. He also built the little Chinari sort of hut diorama that you might have seen that Spiro had at I believe it was PowerCon last year. So that was really cool to kind of chat with him about customizing and the diode and stuff like that. So Red 5 says, can we talk about the comic a little bit? I reread 1 through 4. I'm confused. Is Vero Atlas a bad guy? Yes, he is. But we're not going to talk about the comic today. We'll save that for AWOC Talk and Monkey Business, because as I said, I'm going to try to do a shorter video today, as it is Easter Sunday, and I've still got a million little things on my list to do. Larry Reed, one of the largest airports in the States. I was there 2 weeks ago. They were saying, when I was there over the loudspeaker, they were saying they are the busiest, the biggest and busiest airport in the world. I don't think I could sort of argue against that. It was absolutely bonkers. And I had a lot of time there, so I walked around, and I got tired of walking before I got through the whole of the airport. There's like 9 different sort of like wings of the airport, and each one of them is huge. Um, I was trying to work out how many gates they had at the airport, and it was hundreds. It was literally hundreds of gates. Um, they're broken into like terminals, and I think there was like 8 terminals, and then from what I could gather, there were like 50 to 70 gates per terminal, and there still wasn't enough room. It was still super crowded in the whole thing. Bricks has 192 gates. I thought it could have been more. Like it was bananas. And it's like a shopping mall, and there's multiple food courts, and there's like fine dining, and like it was crazy. It was crazy. And then beyond that, when you go like the departure gates, like the departure, like where you get your tickets and get checked in and everything, there's a domestic terminal and an international one. And so but they're like a 10-minute drive away from each other. So the rest of the guys, the other 3 guys got dropped off at domestic. My flight was a little bit later. That's why I had time to kill in the airport. I took a shuttle, a 10-minute shuttle, like a bus, like an actual like city bus shuttle, 10 minutes to another airport, basically, only to find out that once I got through security and sort of was in the airport proper, it was connected to the other one. I don't know. I don't know why it works that way. It was ridiculous, but it was weird, and it was fun. So, but yeah. Denver is actually a bigger airport, but I believe Atlanta is busier. There you go. And I always thought, Larry Reed, I always thought O'Hare was actually the busiest airport in the U.S., but I don't know. I mean, maybe they all use different numbers. Maybe they all use different metrics to, maybe like maybe it's like number of people, maybe it's number of flights, maybe it's whatever. I don't know. Brooke says Atlanta International is a giant airport. Atlanta has about 450,000 people, and here in San Francisco we have 800 plus thousand, yet our airport only has 115 gates. I can't help but think that that's probably just because Atlanta is just an international hub airport. Because the size of some of the planes that were coming in was so Vancouver is a very big airport. I fly out of Vancouver quite regularly. You don't see that many 747, like full size 747s. Atlanta had a bunch, and those planes are crazy. But anyways, enough talk about airports. I could do an episode about airports based on Atlanta, but I won't. But it was bonkers, and I think it's like most of not most of it, but like a lot of it felt like it was underground. So it was really weird. Because you'd kind of come up to the gate. It was wild. It was wild. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna start a new channel, and I'm just gonna review airports. That's probably already a channel. I'm not gonna do that. What I am gonna do is go over my very modest haul of items that I picked up at Toylanta. I am going to start with the things that were brought to me at Toylanta. So Terrence, who I haven't seen his name in the chat yet, but Terrence is awesome dude, just super helpful, always happy to do a favor for me, being that he is in the United States and I am not. He picked up for me because I was worried for a brief moment I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get it, but he picked up the Mattel Creations exclusive snout spout for me, which I have yet to open. When I do, you will know because there will be a video. He was also kind enough to get me my Welcome to Eternia, home of the Moat Monster t-shirt, because they would not ship this to Canada either. Apparently, Mattel doesn't want their clothing sold to Canadians. I think it's a little bit racist, but I don't know what their motivation is. And then, on top of that, because it wasn't enough that he picked me up two cool things that I had requested. He said, did you want a rock on? And I said, I mean, I wasn't really that fussed one way or the other. And he goes, well, I'll tell you what. Here, you just have a rock on. So he also brought me a rock on, an Origins rock on, which is an absurd figure. This thing is ridiculous, but absolutely a fun figure. And thank you, Terrence, for hooking that up. Very much appreciated. Then I was already on a Masters of the Universe sort of mood. So the first thing that I picked up were two more Origins figures. I got Snout Spout and Leech in the Origins version. I thought, I got Snout Spout Masterverse New Eternia, so I may as well get the Origins one. This guy's a lot of fun. Actually, Nick Dubes and I had a lot of fun with the alternate head that sprays water, figuring out how far it would spray water, and it will spray water fully across a hotel room. I can assure you of that much. And then Leech was, as I've said before, Leech was a figure that I had as a kid and absolutely couldn't wait to get him. The suction cups on that guy are so much better than the vintage figure ever was. As I mentioned, I explored the greater area around there, and by that I mean I went to Target and Publix. And at Target, I was able to pick up on sale the Star Wars Vintage Collection Sabine Wren. Really, I got Sabine because I wanted a Loth cat. Now I want more Loth cats. This thing's super fun. I want a whole bunch of Loth cats for Cyberzoic is what I've decided. Because look how cute that is. Little Loth cat. Just a teeny tiny little Loth cat. I think there's a new 2-pack that you can get like 2 Loth cats in, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that thing too. Then, as some of you may know, the 4 Horsemen were also at Toylanta this time around, and as some of you may also know, my lovely wife stole my Thrace, so I had to get a replacement Thrace. And then Derek from Spiro Studios was kind enough to basically fulfill an order for me. I needed more Wave 3 Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, so he got me a full set of the Wave 3 figures. This is a Feralus Stalker. The Feralus Stalker might be my favorite from Wave 3. I'm also going to do an unboxing of that. I think Red 5 was asking for reviews of Wave 3 figures, so I'm definitely going to do that. The rest of them didn't fit in Derek's suitcase, so the rest of them came in bags. But I'm going to do an open late on Wednesday night and probably do all of Wave 3 that way, and then do a separate sort of unboxing recorded video for the Feralus Stalker. And then if you know enough about me, you know that I also collect spoons. So I also got an Atlantis spoon to add to my collection, which is coming along quite nicely. It is a functional and practical collection, I remind you, because it is a spoon. This one would be a little less functional because it's like got a lot of texture and stuff. But anyways. And I feel terrible because there was a guy at Toylanta, and I've completely forgotten his name. But he had a backpack, and on his backpack he had Spider-Man figures, and they were all connected by like wire webbing. Like it was almost like his backpack had become like a diorama. And we sort of noted how cool his backpack was. And then he gave us all the Spider-Man web things, and I've seen people make them before, and they're super super simple. But I just wanted to shout out the guy that gave me this, but I forgot his name. So this is going to be a lot of fun. That's going to go on my Marvel Legends Spider-Man figure that's over there. I haven't put it up there because I wanted to just mention that the generosity of that gentleman at Toylanta. And then, oh, two other things that I picked up, and one other thing that was given to me. Derek also brought me a whole bunch of Masterverse figures that he had kind of taken like one piece off for customizing. So I got like King Grayskull minus the cape. I got Beastman minus the sort of vintage inspired harness piece. I got the Andra. I got, like, he just gave me, it was like a big bag of Masterverse figures, which is awesome. A couple of them sort of ended up in my collection. A few of them ended up in the kids' collection. So shout out to Derek for his generosity. Thank you, Derek, for that. At Target, I also picked up some more Bluey toys for the kids. For the kids, I got them. They weren't for me. I'm not collecting them. My kids are. And then again, for my lovely wife, I managed to pick up a very, very nice vintage She-Ra, a vintage Swiftwind, and a vintage Catra. The only problem was Swiftwind didn't come with wings and Catra didn't come with her mask. So if you or somebody that you know has Swiftwind's wings or Catra's mask, please let me know. I need to get Catra's mask is the priority. I need to get that Catra's mask because my wife lost Catra's mask as a child. It was thrown out in the packaging. So I got the Catra to replace the Catra that she had, but I still need the mask. And then the last thing that I got, this is the thing. And I gotta go slowly because this is he's I gotta be gentle with this guy because he's a one of one. Although it could just be printed again. But I was lucky enough to get the sample, the 3D printed sample of Spectral Pale. So the images of Spectral Pale in the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Kickstarter are pictures of this very figure. He is 3D printed, so there's zero articulation, but he is completely translucent and completely awesome. And I can't wait to get the fully articulated, the highly articulated, glow in the dark production version of that. And by the and I'm getting multiples, of course, but Justin says, does your wife collect a lot or is she just a casual collector? She's a very casual collector. As in she's just started in the last few weeks picking up random bits and pieces. She stole my Thrace. She wants a couple She-Ras. She wanted to just get a couple things. She's not really a collector. She just had sort of some random odds and ends. It is awesome. It is awesome. Allison Troy says, which Catra mask? Wave 1 or Wave 2 scratch and sound? Wave 1. I think just the basic one. Is your wife an opener? Yes, absolutely. Insofar as the handful of things that she's gotten so far. Jeff said, I also got that Sabine on sale. The Sabine's really good. The helmet makes her look ridiculous. Ray Pass says, I also love the Horde from Wave 3. Yes, both the Horde and the normal Horde and the Gorilla are both really awesome. Brick said the eyes on the Origin snout spout tripped me out. They kind of do. He's got weird pupils in his eyes that make him very much look like a Filmation cartoon character. The other one, I don't know if the other one's better or worse. So the alternate head that like sprays water also has like weird pupils. But they're like they're more like cat eyes. I don't know. It's weird. And Allison says, yeah, it seems like one would have been less cartoony, but alas, we didn't we didn't get it. Yeah, I just it's odd, but anyway. Um, let's see. Um, where is she posing them? I don't know. She just leaves them around the house, like races on our kitchen counter. My toys aren't allowed to be sort of out in sort of the shared space, but her toys are. That's okay. She doesn't have that many. I I think Shira is still on the kitchen island as well, so they haven't made it very far. She doesn't know where to put them. She doesn't have a toy room like mine, so she doesn't really have the ability to sort of have them in her collection as such because her collection consists of, as I said, like a handful of things. So anyway, um, all right. So very quickly, let's take a look at some maybe take a look at some Kickstarter stuff. Um, hey, it worked. Look at that. So the Kickstarter, the Animal Warriors of the Kickstarter is going strong. Currently sitting at $221,061. If you have not backed this yet, shame on you. I kid. If you haven't backed this yet, that's fine. You still have 16 days. If you have, we appreciate you and we thank you. We've still got more stuff to reveal. We've still got more stuff to sort of share with people. There's more images. There's more. I think we're gonna post the images for the hippo and the rhino soon. And we're less than 10,000 away from sort of completing all the stretch goals for what the sort of initial offerings were. And then we get into the birds, and then we get into the ox, and then the elephant, and all the other pachyderms. So lots of good stuff going on that front, and lots of stuff going on behind the scenes as well. So I keep saying too that what we've shown and what you've seen is awesome, but we're not done there. Like this is what we've got for 2024 and going into 2025. But we're still looking to do more stuff. There's still more talk about different characters, different species, fun different things. And as I said, before the Kickstarter is out, there's still more stuff that we will be sharing with people. I can't stress this enough that if you don't back the Kickstarter, if you're into Animal Wars of the Kickstarter, if you're into Animal Warriors of the Kingdom and you don't back the Kickstarter, I think you'll kind of be kicking yourself because prices will be going up. And there may be some fun surprises for Kickstarter backers. I'm just saying it's in your best interest to back the Kickstarter if you are at all interested in Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, especially if you've got your full set of Wave 1 figures. Just saying. And Brick says, I'm staring at some of the more stuff right now. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we still have more heads that have been unlocked that we haven't even been able to show yet, just because the sculptors are working on them sort of as they're unlocking. We've still got, as I said, the rhino, the hippo. There's still more to come as far as detail with the birds, so on and so forth. So there's just more stuff, and we just can't wait to sort of get this stuff to people. We're doing updates as well, so not only the sort of the Kickstarter updates, but we're updating some of the images and some of the other things. So one thing that I did yesterday was not just myself, but with Jason and Brick something as well. We've updated a lot of this, so you can see that the lizard now has more call outs to some of the features. You also get the extra head sort of shown in the image there, which does come as a pack in with the figure. And then we added, at least for the lizards for now, the this little blurb of sort of what you get in the pack. We will continue to do that for the rest of the figures as well. So once, so we did it for all the lizards, the reptiles. Once we have all the heads from the sculptors, we will be doing the same for the brawlers, and then the female characters, and then so on and so forth. We'll have all that sorted out for you guys. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But as I said, it's there's a lot of moving parts, so it's we're sort of doing it as quickly as we can. But very, very appreciative of the support, and looking forward, right? As I said, we unlocked the Horrid Assassin this morning. So the next thing that gets unlocked is the alternate heads, which means another head for the Horrid Assassin, which is an alternate head. And then we've got, another head for Boone, another head for Kanji. So we got things going on. We got things going on, and it's and then it's onwards and upwards. There he is in all his in his glow in the dark, transparent beauty, spectral pale. But as I said, then we move forward. We're never looking back at what we've done. We're always looking forward at what we're gonna do, what we can do. So once we get the head pack unlocked, we will start unlocking the birds, starting with Raving, and then of course going to Meryl and Scathing. Scathing seemed to get a really, really strong reaction, but Meryl, I think, is going to be a lot of fun with that loot that turns into a bow. So the idea, at least, we're letting the sculptors and the engineers figure out how to do it, but the idea is that the loot folds out into a functioning bow. So this isn't two pieces. This will be like one accessory. We'll see. We will see. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how they can pull that off. Now with Scathing, we showed the first piece of soft goods that we're offering, but Raving will also have soft goods. We just don't have that separate. There's another design for him with the soft goods on. This is more of a basic image, so that'll be cool. And I was talking to Jason about the alternate heads and alternate hands for the birds, and they may be a little bit different than what we've done with the apes and the cats, because for some obvious reasons, I think birds are more feathered. Birds also fly, so you need the bird to be able to look up so that he can see where he's going when he's flying and stuff like that. So all new, all different, but still really, really cool, really fun stuff going on with the birds. It's a lot of stuff to look forward to. There will be an Avian weapon set as well. And then, as I said, those alternate heads. And then, of course, we've got the Ox. And then we've got Mamba, who may become Mambu. We'll see. We haven't. That's not set in stone. In the comic book, he was Mambu. But when Jason put him up here, he put Mamba. So we'll see. Oh yeah, Thanos. Absolutely. You make a very, very good point. The birds will also come with gripping feet. The feet will be designed to grip the weapons that come with the birds. So there you go. I think Thanos, a step in the right direction, as far as you and many other people are concerned. So let's just leave this on Mamba, and I will quickly check the chat here because I was trying to kind of get through that so that we can move on to something else. Let's see. Brian Brink says, I backed AWOC today. Brian, huge shout out to Brian Brink for doing a chart for us. I will share this right now as I sort of go over your comment. So over on geekdadlife.com, you can see on the side there are all these charts, and Brian was kind enough to generously sort of give us some time and take some time out to set up a chart for us. So here's our chart. Brian told me that he's maxed out the colors that he can use to create the chart. But if you haven't checked out Brian's chart, please go over to geekdadlife.com and check out that chart. And while you're over there, check out some toy news. Um, but yeah, Brian, what you did with the chart, I think was support enough. But the fact that you backed it, very much appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Ray says unlock something. Yep, we unlocked the Horde Assassin this morning. So Red 5 says you spoil us. We try to. I mean, we're just trying to make cool toys that are fun. So when you guys are done with Kickstarter, can you get the comic team on to speak about the book, since we are all patiently waiting for issue 5? Issue 5 is done and it's really good. We did a chat with Utama. So Brick and I chatted with Utama. You've probably seen part 1 of that. Part 2 should be going up soon. But Brick and I also have a couple episodes banked, so we will get back to a walk talk, and we'll have lots of fun lore talk and comic book talk. It'll be fun to get back to a regular schedule where every morning it's not sort of like, okay, what do we have to address right now? Red 5, how does it feel being on the inside and a fan at the same time? We're all jealous. It feels awesome. It feels awesome. And it's like, it's really, what's really, really cool is that everybody that's on the inside with Spiro is a fan. And everybody's sort of doing it because they love it. And you know, it's just really, really fun to chat. I was chatting with Dan Mitchell, the sculptor, yesterday. And we were just sort of, you know, nerding out about like the engineering stuff and like the like, you know, how the sausage is made type inside baseball behind the curtain stuff. And it's just really, really cool. It's really fun because it's just like-minded people talking about toys. And I will also say this, and I've said this before, the environment that sort of, you know, Jason is kind of this chaotic creative mind, but he's and he has a very, very strong vision of what he wants to do, but he's also very open to ideas. And you know, if your idea sort of improves what he's doing, he's more than happy to accept it. Like it's he's not one of these guys where you kind of go, hey, what about, and he's like, no, that's not what that's, you know, I would never even consider that. So it's really fun. It's just really, really fun. I also don't feel like I'm on the inside of anything in a weird way, if that makes sense. It just feels like I'm talking about toys with friends. It like I get that, like, you know, I don't know, like, yeah, we're on the inside, but so much of what we know we share with everybody else. So it's not, you know, we're not trying to like withhold things. I don't know. It's weird. There's a few things like I can't talk about like. Okay, I'll give you like a little hint of like the inside stuff, but it's because it's not really it doesn't amount to anything. So as anybody that's sort of following along when we talk about the lore and stuff like that, Jason's mentioned that like in the second story arc, we're going to get deeper into, you know, the wider world, and the pirates are going to factor in because, you know, they're sort of ferrying things through various, you know, trade routes and things like that. So, you know, we've seen Lexion, who is a pirate in series or in wave 2, and now we've got Boone and Grimes, who are pirates. But there's more pirates, right? Obviously, there's more than 3 pirates. So then we have we have conversations where it's like, okay, well, what other pirate characters would we want to do? And we look at, you know, what bucks do we have to work with? Which species could we do? You know, what are some pirate traits and attributes and like characteristics, and how do you work that in? So the conversations aren't like it's super informal and just like fun and creative, and like we've come up with more pirate characters, and some of them are going to be, if some of them work out, they're going to be really, really cool. We've talked about tribute figures and, you know, what we potentially like to do. It's been discussed on videos before, so I'm not speaking out of turn. Like I said, this isn't stuff that we're trying to withhold from people. But we had a conversation at Toylanta about what if we did Thane in Optimus Primal colors? So like the Beast Wars Gorilla Optimus Prime, but use the Thane body to do that. And then Jason was like mapping out all the colors. Jason's done Jason's done other tribute figures. Like he's got them banked. So it's not as though, we won't do them. It's just when and sort of things like that. But to answer your question, it's super fun, and it's fun to sort of be the middleman, and it's fun to get the chance to share a lot of that stuff with you guys. So Kelly Chase says, "Happy Easter to you and your family, good sir." Kelly, happy Easter to you as well. Red 5, will the Lizard Infantry come in different colors in the future? There's a very, very good chance. Yes. I mean, all of these figures will come in different colors. That's the economy of an action figure line is in parts reuse. So Thanos, any news of a regular tongue for the chameleon or snake yet? Yes, there is news. No, I can't share it. Brick says Adam is AWOC fan, insider #1 for sure. He's doing great work behind. Oh, Brick. Brick's doing way more work than I am right now. I do the boring work. Brick is doing a lot of the Brick is shaking hands and kissing babies. He's getting us on all these shows that we're getting on. It's not me. It's not me. Thanos, I think we will get the birds. I honestly, when we were like, I was chatting with Brick and Jason this morning. I still genuinely believe that the elephant is still very much in play. I genuinely believe that. I think the press tour that Brick is sort of spearheading, I think, is doing a big amount of work for us, just in terms of getting fresh eyes, keeping it sort of relevant, giving us the sort of platform and venues to share more images, to share more details. Every time we chat with somebody has a good question, and it makes us kind of reconsider something, or sort of add more to the Kickstarter, to make it more to make it less confusing, to add more information, so on and so forth. So yeah, the birds. I mean, I think the birds are. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but like I think the birds are like a lock. The elephant is still a long ways off, but I'm still optimistic. I still think we can get there. Yeah. Um, yeah. Anything coming out of WonderCon, we'll get there. I should move on to that. The last thing I'm going to share before I do that, because I'm probably way behind. I just wanted to mention that if you can't back the Kickstarter, or you'd rather go through a different route, ecollectibles.ca does have the Kickstarter figures up for pre-order. Big Bad Toy Store likewise. And those count towards the end goal. So, if you'd rather sort of get your stuff through them, get an order in. It's not sort of as direct a link. And as I said, if you back the Kickstarter, you may get a little something that you wouldn't if you go through one of those other guys, but they are out there. Excuse me. They are out there for pre-order on a couple sites. So, you can certainly go that route if you're so inclined. And as I said, that still works towards the end goal. So, yeah. Moving on to some other stuff. one little thing that popped up that is I don't know why I'm so excited about this one. The Jurassic Park, I think it's in the Legacy collection. I don't know which collection it's in, or really care for that matter, but they are doing the Diplodocus. This big giant boy. I mean the dinosaur, not that boy. I don't know how big that boy is, but this is a good looking dino. I'm looking forward to this. I think it looks better with the neck down like that, really, really long and low. I'm slowly building out my 1/18th scale dinosaur collection in anticipation of the Cyberzoic stuff. This is sort of minimal articulation. It's got that weird gimmicky thing in its back. I don't even know what those are for. I think you can scan those you get an app in your phone or something and scan those. And I don't, maybe it teaches you about dinosaurs or something. Um, Minimal articulation, but it's huge. So really, really the draw is that it's a big giant dino. But yeah, Diplodocus. Diplodocus? I don't know. I used to always say Diplodocus, but I think it's Diplodocus. Doesn't make a difference. Does it? Do people care? Um I'll get to WonderCon, but I'll be honest, I've been so busy, I don't even know what's WonderCon's like. uh McFarlane showed stuff at WonderCon, right? I think Hasbro's done stuff at WonderCon too. I'm having a hard time keeping track of what's going on, so I'm just pulling up the random things that I'm looking at. Um, and I'll look at the Masterverse stuff in a second here. Anything coming out of WonderCon that you're excited about? Some great classic Marvel comics reveal. She-Hulk, beautiful. I haven't even seen that. That's the thing. I'm days behind in my toy news. So it's just like some random things get through, others don't. I saw that they did physical reveals for some GI Joe stuff. That's cool. I already knew that stuff was coming, so it's like, yeah. This Masterverse stuff, the Origin stuff, I don't think there was anything in the Origins that I was really excited about, but this Revolution Emperor Hordak looks pretty cool. The Hordak that they did what's the Princess of Power, the Princess of Power version of Hordak that they didn't get great reviews. I really like this as like a new Eternia Hordak, so I'm kind of looking at that. Princess of Power Leech. As much as I love Leech, I think I'm gonna wait because I'm confident that we would get like a new Eternia version of Leech. I really hope we do, because the colorway on this, I'm not feeling. Cyclone. If I was all in, I would definitely get Cyclone because I like the vibe of it. Cyclone doesn't do much for me. Battle Armor Skeletor looks pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a cool figure. The Skeletor in Throne looks awesome. I have no idea where I would put it, so I'm probably not gonna get that. The 1987 Beastman, who I believe, I haven't seen it in so long. I believe he's from the movie. Is that correct? Is he from the Masters of the Universe movie? Looks really, really fun, and I could see people getting that just to have like a cool figure. I'm not getting the movie stuff, so that's a pass for me. New Eternia Thunder Punch He-Man is another pass, although he looks really, really good. The eyes in this picture look really, really weird. He's got crazy eyes. He's got crazy eyes there, but the eyes in other pictures look significantly better. But as I said, I don't need every He-Man. I don't need everything that they're doing, and I think the Revolution Battle Armor He-Man is going to be my Masterverse He-Man. That one looks phenomenal. Revolution Manowar Duncan looks really good. That's probably a pickup. Revolution Snake Sorceress Tila looks phenomenal. That's definitely a pickup. New Eternia Merman is my favorite of the lot. This guy looks awesome. I love Merman. I love how kind of absurd he is and ridiculous he looks. So New Eternia Merman is definitely going to be a pickup for me personally. Um, very much looking forward to that one. Um, let's see. Where would I find WonderCon stuff, or do I bother? It's been 50 minutes. Do I even bother? No, I'm not going to bother trying to look up news to comment on it. What I am going to do is bring up one more thing here. Bear with me, please. I think part of the reason that my StreamYard wasn't working very well before was because I had too many tabs open. So I'm trying to do this on the fly so that I don't have nearly as many tabs open, which slows me down a bit. But still, um, let me pull this down for a moment and try to catch up on the chat. And then I've got one more thing to talk about, and then I'll have we'll take another quick look at the Kickstarter, and then we'll take off. Um, let's see. You guys flatter me. All major lines need someone like Adam that has true passion for the product. As a fan, he's looking out for us. I think most do. I think it's not always evident, but I think the nice thing about being able to work with Jason and being able to work with Brick and work for Spiro Studios is that it's not a corporate thing. It's a bunch of friends chatting about cool stuff, and genuinely the motivation is like, how cool can we make this stuff? And that's the motivation. Thanos says missed most of the WonderCon stuff. I've missed most of it too, and I'll have to play catch up either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. Just put it out there. Just don't cut it. Just make it. It'll be the extended version. That's. I still say, Brick. I still say that at some point we got to do like the outtakes. We got to do like all the bits for AWOC talk that don't make the cut. Like where we totally forget what we're talking about. I agree. Ray Paz, 100%. Brick's the unsung hero here. Brick does way more cool stuff than I do. I do boring stuff. But yeah, Brick's absolutely right. It's all about a dope team of solid, good people with and every like, and honestly, like no egos, no, like nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it to for themselves. Like we're all doing it because this stuff's cool. This is cool stuff, and it's fun to be involved with cool stuff. Thanos, I need to figure out how I'm going to get the comics. Thanos, you want reach out to me. We'll figure it out. Message me and we'll get you sorted out. I'm sure we can manage to get somebody to get them for you. I mean, at the very least, Thanos, I can get you the digital ones, even if they're not out there. Let's see. Yeah, as far as digital, the digital will be available again at some point. We're just not exactly sure when. We're definitely sort of pushing. We're definitely pushing the physical through Diamond just to sort of get some traction for the comic book right now. It kind of sucks because people that have been like following the comic for this long are like chomping at the bit to get to issue 5, but you can't get issue 5 until we do issue 4 again. And then for Thanos, I totally get it. Like you're waiting on issue 5, but you might not be able to get the physical copy anyways. Well, we're trying. And honestly, if people reach out to us, we can work around We can work around some of the official stuff. Um, Thanos says it's going at a good pace. Plus, every unlock are extra purchases and the FOMO ending bumps. Yeah, definitely a good shot. Yeah, and that's the thing. We keep saying that like the closer we get to the elephant, and sort of if we can get close enough to that elephant, people like a lot of people that have an all-in pledge could up their pledge to the epic all-in to sort of save a whole bunch of money, and then it's like this snowball effect, right? Whereas we sort of get closer and closer, more people are more and more inclined to sort of go all in on that. So, Brick says, Jason's napping. Are the birds standard figures price? Yes, yes. The all the birds will be standard figures, so you'll be able to buy them as a single figure at $33, or an add-on for that price, or thereabouts, or add them in the backer kit at that price. But the birds are a standard figure. Um, let's see. Alex, which is the name that I think I've seen before, but not super familiar with, becoming obsessed with AWOC each day. What is the strategy going forward with the toy line? Is the team in Spiro using Kickstarter to design the new bucks and then do 3 waves before designing new bucks? With any luck, this will be the last time we have to do a Kickstarter. The sort of motivation for doing the second Kickstarter was to get into the news cycle again, to sort of get fresh eyes on the toys, and to expedite the process. So the issue with not the like the figures are great. But Jason wants to do a lot more species. There's a whole lot more characters to do, and with the bucks that were available at hand, it would have been slow going to get the characters out. So this is just a much more expeditious way to get the funding required and sort of the pre-orders all lined up to get more bucks more quickly. With these new bucks, we'll be able to do waves of multiple different bucks. And the more, so there's a weird thing that happens too, where like we reuse parts, but you can't reuse this. Like, so if you're, what's the best way to explain this? Okay, so say in the next wave we wanted to use the pale body for a figure, for like a new character, right? So the mold for this is going to be used for that new character. Well, in that wave, you have to use a different buck or wait for that new figure to be created before you can use this mold again. So the more molds you have, the shorter the amount of time that you have to wait to like make more figures. That's really confusing, I think. But did that make sense in some way? Like the more molds you have, the more characters you can make sort of at any one time, because you can't use the same mold for 2 things at once, right? So having more molds makes it easier to do waves on a better schedule, because you have more tools, right? You have more things that you can make, basically. So getting more molds into the library is hugely important for a line, and the quicker that you can do that, the quicker you can sort of release toys in the future, basically. So hopefully that answers your question. But also there's also new, like there's other bucks that aren't even in the Kickstarter with all the ones that we've unlocked. Like, it's great. There's still more stuff that Jason wants to make, that we will make. But we're kind of, at this point, we're the Kickstarter, you're really looking at what we're going to do in 2024 and then into 2025. There might be some other stuff mixed in there, whether that's a tribute figure or a special edition thing or something like that. But you're seeing a pretty good roadmap of the next 18 months or so. Red 5 says the press tour is brilliant on many levels. If anything, we're finding new channels and new tubers that never knew existed. So thank you for that. Absolutely. And that's, what's kind of cool about that is that, like, I'm learning about new channels as well. And connecting with people that I've chatted with but never necessarily like met and talked to in person. So it's been a lot of fun. Um, let's see. Thanos says, even if you aren't in on the figures, which I don't know why you would be, those weapons packs are rad for other lines. Yeah, we were talking about that. I think people will probably pick those up too for other lines if they see them and sort of once we start getting those out there. Um, uh, let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Welcome to Canada. Toy pricing is ridiculous. Epic all in Canadian. Ooh, don't say that. And I'm contemplating a second Epic all in. It's worth it. That's the thing. I made sure that the Epic all in would be worth it. I genuinely was like, I wanted to make it so that even if you can't back the Epic all in, you wish you could. Um, because that was on purpose. It's on purpose that it's a very reasonable price. Um, so yeah, absolutely. Make room, more giant dinos incoming. Um, let's see. Let's see. McFarlane showed Batman Forever figure. Yes, I kind of dig those. I saw those this morning actually when I was getting ready. When I was sort of pulling up other things to look at. I genuinely I was a little bit surprised, but also they kind of look good. And Batman Forever, like I saw in theaters, and I remember just like being really excited about it. And I still like it. I mean, it's Batman and it's fun. So Ray Pass says all those Masterverse figures I'm down for. Um, Endless Fables, Iron Man Wave looks pretty awesome. Is that where is that posted? Like, is there somewhere I can like very quickly find that? I used to go to Whoosh, but since Robbo left, I kind of don't care anymore. Oh, I was going to show the SH Figure Arts GT Trunks. I haven't had an episode since that's been up to. Um, WonderCon in-person shot. I don't like in-person shots. I don't like in-person shots, but I'm looking at them. Okay, so you got Iron Man, another Iron Man, a Deadpool. I I have no idea who that character is. I have no idea who that character is. That wave looks good, but I don't know who half those characters are. And then are they showing? Are these the vintage? See, this is the thing about the live. Like, I don't know what any of this stuff is, so I can't really comment on it very well. Um, what is that? Doesn't say. Why doesn't it say? Okay, hold on. I'll pull this up. Maybe you guys can shed some light on this for me. Um, what series is this from? Is this Vintage Collection? Is this Black Series? It looks small, so I'm thinking Vintage Collection, but it doesn't say Vintage Collection anywhere. Did they take the Vintage Collection tags off of the packaging? I mean, that's still Black Series. That's Is that the old Black Series box coming back? We'll look at this picture. I can speak to some of this. I have no idea who this guy is, but he looks cool. She-Hulk looks very, very good. This is like OG Iron Man, right? The O-Ring Ghostbusters, not my jam, but I like that they're doing them. Um, they, I gotta say, they got the head sculpts nailed for those Ghostbusters figures. and everything else about them looks really, really good. So I'm pretty excited. Iron Man, see. I don't know enough about Iron Man. I don't know what all these Iron Mans are. I don't know what versions they are. She Hulk looks really, really good. That's a good buff, strong She Hulk, and it looks the costume's right. I like it. Not my thing, but who is this? What character is this? I have no idea which character this is. Um how far back in the comments oh, I'm way behind in the comments. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I gotta okay, all right, enough talk about that. Let me try to catch up. Um you should show your drawing of the bird if you haven't. Okay, so full disclosure, I could show it, but it's got my notes on it too. Um I don't know if I want to show the notes, but that's okay. My chicken scratch writing. Um no, I'm not going to show it because it could kind of spoil a surprise for something for one of the things for the figure. So I'm not going to show it. I sent a picture to Jason. I was like, "Hey Jason, what if we do this?" And then I added, "This is why I do the behind the scenes and you're a creative." Um Needless to say, it's not a very good drawing. But it was effective enough that Jason understood what I was trying to say. So, you can tease me all you want, but if it gets the point across, it's okay. Um, let's see. I was still hoping for a Tila 3-pack. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. Um, I just loved all her looks for the new season. Yes, yeah. Um, and you guys are chatting. Amanda did watch it and loved it, and we both want all those Tilas. Um, let's see. Let's see. Oh man, I'm so far behind. I feel like this is like 10 minutes ago. I did find a small comic shop. Okay, like I said, if we'll get you sorted out, Thanos. You know we got you. Endless Fables. I'm dying for issue 5. It's good. It's good. Um, Red 5. I'm gonna bug you for issue 5. It's man, it's good. Um, Ray Paz, off topic, but sort of on topic. If you would do a vehicle, would you Kickstarter or just do a HasLab type of thing? That's been sort of kicked around. Standard figure. So I mean, like I said, don't quote me on any of this. It's just sort of like conversations that we've had. Standard figures probably we won't ever have to do a Kickstarter again, and hopefully, that's sort of in the past. Whether it's for a mount or a vehicle or a playset or something like that, where it's totally outside of figures, then there may have to be something crowdfunded again. The chance of it being a Kickstarter is very, very, very small. The chance of it being something like a HasLab or the way that Super 7 does theirs or whatever is probably more likely. We would just have to figure out the infrastructure for like how to set that up. Brian Brink says even the Horseman ran a couple Kickstarters in the early stages of the Mythic Legions line. I know that Mythic Legions fans don't like it when I sort of explain it this way, but if you think about the time between when Mythic Legions does a pre-order and when they deliver their figures, it's not that different from a Kickstarter. It is a very, very long window for a pre-order. Is it that different? So that's the thing is like there's sort of different ways of doing it, and there's different. We would like to basically give people pre-orders and then deliver within 6 months or something like that, because it's just that's how toys should be. But we're also going forward, ideally, Jason would like to do, 3 or 4 waves of like 4 figures a year, and then a couple exclusives or con exclusives or special figures or whatever. So that's kind of like he just doesn't want to overwhelm people with the number of figures. So Ray Paz, I wouldn't be mad if they had to use Kickstarter again. We'd rather not. I mean, that's the reality. Is like we'd rather not. We'd rather just do pre-orders, but this one kind of made sense this time. But we'll see. I mean, there's other, Cyberzoic is very likely going to do a second Kickstarter for Cyberzoic 2, and then they'll probably do another Kickstarter for Cyberzoic 3. Like for some companies, it's just that's the way it works. For Beasts of the Mesozoic, so Creative Beast Studios has done Beasts of the Mesozoic Kickstarters, several of them. Like each new body type, they've done a new Kickstarter for it. And fans of those lines just sort of accept that that's the way that works. It's the Kickstarter doesn't offer you the same flexibility as you have just doing it on your own, but we'll see. Thanos says, I don't think it's confusing. We're kickstarting to get more figures variety at a much faster pace. It's not confusing to us. But there are people that kind of question why we have to do it that way. But that's fine. I understand. Yeah, and in Red 5, I agree with Ray. Down for another Kickstarter, so much value and savings. Yeah, I mean that's we kind of have to do that to sort of sweeten the pot, so to speak, to sort of to make it worthwhile for people. But it's the whole animal kingdom, endless possibilities. That's the goal. There's so many species that we haven't even touched yet. So now you need to get a table in Toronto in July so we can hang out. It's not going to happen this July. But one other thing we were talking about at Toylanta was the possibility of a couple Canadian shows, maybe an East Coast and a West Coast one. So, I got curious because Justin mentioned in an do you mean Jason? I think it might mean Jason. In an interview about a dwarf-sized buck, also thinking of a smaller and bigger sized female bucks is such an amazing line. Yeah, it is. It is an amazing line. You're absolutely correct. Dwarf size buck is a term that's been out there for a while. We've said this for a while. There are still more sizes that we need to cover. Dwarf size buck would be the smaller animals. So it's definitely out there. Who knows when we'll get to that one? But the Kickstarter was more of the bucks that we needed for main characters, right? We needed the brawler buck for Hannibal, and Kali Prime is sort of an obvious one, and the Void. We needed the female buck, we needed the speedster buck. So this is just the quickest, easiest way to sort of check off the remaining really main characters. You know what I mean? And then sort of from here we see where we'll go. Whiplash. That guy's called Whiplash. I don't even know who that is, but that's okay. Brick Something says it's the vintage collection. Everything but Hammerhead is vintage collection. Yeah, the Black Series packaging is changing again. Why do they keep changing the packaging? Not that I care. I don't buy that many, and I open everything, so it doesn't matter. But it's just funny how randomly they decide to change things. Ironic note: the packaging for the Kickstarter wave of AWOC will be different. But anyways, Ray, I may get those Ghostbusters. They look cool. It's just I mean, if I got the Ghostbusters, I'd want the Ecto one, and I don't have anywhere to put it, so I'm not getting them. O-Ring Ghostbusters is an awesome surprise. So I'm on the inside with Animal Warriors of the Kingdom in a big way because I work with Jason. I have insider knowledge on some other lines as well. Those O-Ring Ghostbusters were planned. I've known of that plan for I think 3 years. So it's awesome that they're finally doing them. Um, yeah, Ecto One is for sale too. It says Schmurgenbergen. Did I pronounce that correctly? But yeah, the Ecto One I think is cool. But the Ecto One is just a re-release of the Plasma Series one, right? They didn't even retool it, so you can only put 2 figures in it, which I think is a missed opportunity. Um, let's see. I'm trying to catch up to the chat, and then sort of I got one more thing I want to talk about, but I'm so far behind. Um, time to glaze the ham. Time is flying. Oh, I love it. I love it. Glaze that ham, Brian. Glaze that ham. Jasatron's diorama llama. I want to see the drawing now. Fine. I'll show you the drawing. I'll show you the drawing. But it also says the last thing that I'm going to be talking about. So there is the drawing of a bird. That's a bird's head. That's the standard bird head, and that is a flying bird head. It's effective. You know what you're looking at. I drew the eyebrow. He's an angry bird. I drew the eyebrow so that you could sort of see the differentiation. Anyways. I wonder if Jason will let me do a one-shot, do art in one of the one-shot comic books. That could be fun. No one would buy it, but that would be fun. Thanos, I'd buy an Awok village. I would too. I would love that. Okay, I do have to skip some of these comments. I will let my wife rub this in. Issue 5 is good. She's read it. Some people just struggle with the negative chatter around crowdfunding. That's fine. They were egg hunting without me. I want to see a blobfish. Who knows? Never say never. Thanos, what buck will the orangutan be on? Laranya would be on a different buck. It would be on another new buck. So, it's 100% effective. Don't quit your day job. My day job also does not include me drawing pictures, so that's good. Yeah, it's not. No, Larry, we have no shortage of artists. Jason knows a whole bunch of artists. He's been sort of doing comic books for a long time. So, I'm very, I'm very excited for some of the stuff that we've got planned for the comic book, and some of the ideas that Jason's open to as well. So yeah, but I'm caught up on the chat, so that's great news. So let's get to the last thing that I wanted to talk about. It is the last day. There are 17 hours to back the Flip War Kickstarter. Their sort of ultimate stretch goal here is 200,000. They're currently sitting at 185,423. And if they can, okay, how do I there? Nope, there. This is, I mean, even if you're not gonna back this Kickstarter, this is like one of the most fun Kickstarters, just because it's Hatter. Hatter is just a cool guy. Oh, it's got my selection there. I backed this not because I even want this figure, but because I'm backing a Mad Hatter project. And the project is just really fun. Okay, I'll just leave that up there. Yeah, I'm back in the glow in the dark. How's that for a no-brainer? But they've got a commercial, long lost unaired commercial. They've got an enemy figure now unlocked. Also, I think I'm scrolling down here because I wanted to show people that if they get to the 200,000, there's like an additional kind of like pack in with any figure. where you get, more hands and an alternate head. You get these like tiny little, um, like mini brands boxes and mini brands toys, basically, which I think is a really really cool thing. So where is it? There you go. If they reach $200,000 stretch goal, you get all this for only $49, which is pretty bonkers. Pretty bonkers. Um, so yeah, if you haven't bicked the Flipper Kickstarter, if you haven't backed the Flipper Kickstarter, go over there and like I said for our Kickstarter as well. Even if you can't, even if you don't want to back for a figure or whatever, just pledge without a reward. Pledge $1, just to show some appreciation, and to get us that much closer to the 200,000. Let's see here. Shiny plastic people. Wait, it's the last day of Flipper already? Time flies when you're flipping. Absolutely. Red 5 says that walrus could be on that buck. It would be on that buck. it would 100% be on that buck. That buck would also be the boar. And there was one other, I think, turnaround that had that buck as well. Ray Paz, I love the artist. Can't spell his name. Utama Prashta. Hope he sticks around forever. I hope so too. He's a great dude, and he's a perfect fit for the project. That's how you spell his first name. Flipping action. Yes, he has flipping action. Ray Paz, I saw the shirt where the figure has some action move to flip people off. Yep, it's awesome. Yeah, Ace and Mega J surprised Mad Hatter with it, and he lost his marbles laughing so hard from the action move. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool project because it's fun. And I think this is like, the allure of Flip War for me is that it's fun. It's not, there's not as many toy lines that are having as much fun as they should. But I think Flip War, is pretty awesome, and I think they're doing it right. Brick said, "I'm in for a flip bot." I wanted to be in for like I asked for just a pack. I want all of the catchas. I want one of each of the colors of catcha. But I didn't see that as a tier for reward. So I'll be happy with my glow in the dark catcha. But I would have loved to get this one. This one specifically, like the calico catcha. I would have liked the gold catcha. I would have liked the, you can get extra catcha bots as well, which I might get. And then the new one, the new orange and purple, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like there you go. So that's what you get, with the figure. You get all that stuff. And you get all that stuff for each of the figures. As I said, check out the Kickstarter. Give them some of your money, but save most of it for ours. Save most of your money for the Animal Warriors or the Kickstarter one. But you could go back like one figure. That won't really affect your budget for the AWOC one. But yeah, there's what I backed for, the glow in the dark, which is cool. I would have liked, the accessories to be the standard color, whatever. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining that much. Anyways. And I got the middle fingers secured for early bird backing, as did I. That was we should have had an early bird. We didn't even think we did think about that, but we didn't really know how to like execute it. So shiny plastic people, I'm getting the standard Flip War. Yeah, I've heard people like everybody's sort of got a favorite. And I think when I like so the Spiro guys, I think Derek's getting like 2 or 3. Nick was getting one. Jason was getting a couple. I'm getting one. Like, it's just a cool project. It's a fun project. So go get your Flip War and get an extra one to flip. It's exactly why I adjusted my Flipboard back and got to help pay for the other things. Yeah. Um, do something different and make a late bird. Well, we are. I guess we have a really late bird. It's an unlock goal, right? So, um, Thanos, I love the lore for the gold version, but went with the standard. Yeah, it's. I mean, that's. And you know, nothing against these guys. This is awesome. Like I said, I don't need the figure, so it wasn't to me. It wasn't about the lore or anything like that. I wanted to back the glow in the dark one because that one's kind of the most fun, and because I'll have a translucent and glow in the dark shelf, so it'll fit on there, no problem. And that's all kind of one offs. I didn't know where else I would put it. This shelf is gonna get moved eventually, so it's not gonna last there. Um, but you know. I don't know if it, like they've done really well in terms of number of backers, um, and I hope that they get to build this world out, um, because I think a lot of people would buy into this. But I think their biggest hurdle is the fact that you know it's a lot of versions of Flip War, um, versus a lot of different characters, right? So I think adding the villain and adding the bots is definitely what you know helped them get to where they are. But but it's a little it's you know I'm sure there's going to be people that get one of each, um, but that didn't make sense to me personally. As I said, cool guys and cool project, and like I said, it's just fun. So if you like fun toys, go get yourself a flip or Ray Pass. Nice save. It's not a save. I mean, like, you know, people buy other toys. You don't have to just buy Animal Warriors of the Kingdom toys. That's not the you know that's such a like a narcissistic, narrow-minded thing to think that like your brand is somehow so much better that it's going to be the only thing that anybody buys. Um, you know, buy what you like, buy what makes you happy, and you know, support the people that you want to. I think that's how I feel. The Flipboard figure's great, Hatter's great. I want people to go and back this. I genuinely want them to hit that 200,000 so that I get more stuff with my toy. But I think they've done pretty well, so I'm pretty happy for them. Um, Game Quest says, Happy Easter all, visiting family, but checking in as I can. Congrats on the AWOC successes this week. Yes, it's been a great week. Larry says, I'm in too many lines right now. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? I'm so jealous of people that are like, oh, I only collect one line. And I'm like, how do you manage to do that? Do they just have blinders on? Like if you just do one line, do you just never go on the internet? Do you never watch ToyTube? Like how do people protect themselves from people like me and Brick and all the other enablers of the world? Um, let's be real. This is the best Kickstarter. The Flipboard one is the best one. The Flipboard one's pretty fun. I like as far as like entertaining Kickstarters. Like we're posting cool pictures, but like theirs is way more fun. They've got ads and videos and yeah. Thanos says I started that way, following one. Yeah, I mean, I was just doing Lego, and then I was just doing Lego and Marvel Legends, and then it was like, what don't I collect? There's so much cool stuff out there. There really is so much cool stuff out there. There's too much. There's too much cool stuff out there. Get your wife to control your allowance. The honest truth is that I give her almost all of my paycheck, and I spend what's left. So it kind of does work that way. Ray Pass says no AWOC. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, I think it's a cool Kickstarter, but you know, if you say so, Ray. Um, yeah, it does. Get your wife to control your lunch. She says, I do. Um, l- um, yeah. Anyways, all right, guys, it's been a blast. It is Easter Sunday. I hope you guys are all having fun. I hope you guys all have a pleasant and relaxing day. As I said, um, you know, Brick will be on in about an hour. Jason will be on hanging out. So grab a snack, grab a drink. Go for a little walk outside. Scroll through the Flipboard Kickstarter, back them for no more than one figure, and then go to the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Kickstarter and back that with all the rest of your money. Let's get let's get those unlocks unlocked and dangle that elephant in front of people's faces so that they have less and less of a reason to not go epic all in. Um, Thanos says epic all in. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Just go epic all in and, sit back and relax. We got 16 days to go. As I said, I'm still confident we're going to get that elephant. And then, the thing is, if we can unlock that elephant and then people start backing the elephant, then we can unlock the hippo and the rhino. And I'm just saying, get that money in there now and see how far we go. All right. I could ramble on forever, but instead of doing that, I will say thank you guys for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully, well, you know what? I don't even know what the schedule is for the for the videos this coming week. I'm sure we're going to be busy. So I don't know if I'm going to do another video until next Sunday, but next Sunday, a week earlier than normal, we'll be doing another monkey business. Jason will be joining Brick and I to talk Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. And if you got any more questions or whatever, we'll see where we're at by next weekend, but it should be fun. I may try to record at least that snout spout in the next couple days and get that posted. But if not, see you next weekend. Bye-bye.